Welcome to our at-home podcast.
Figured everybody else is doing it, so we might as well try it too.
Okay, so what's our first question?
So the first question is actually a question I had for you. I think we both get asked relationship advice weirdly often, as if like we're some pros on the topic. But what is the most common question you get asked in regards to relationship advice?
I think for me it's more so surrounding like how do you balance your in-laws? Like I share how close I am to my in-laws, my sister-in-laws and my mother-in-law, and for them it's always been like how do you manage that, right? Not everybody has like that kind of relationship with their in-laws. And one advice that I would like to give people, and I do give people, is that when you're getting married and you're going into the family, don't go into that family with a preset scenarios in your brain of how things are going to play out.
I thought you were going to do like a don't go into that family, full stop. Just opt out altogether. That's enough.
No, I don't think that you should have like assumptions about people before you go into a family. Everybody has a different background, everybody has a different story, everybody has like their own way of dealing with things, and when you have those set scenarios in your head already, it is very difficult for you to navigate through whatever is coming your way, because you're like, you already have a defense mechanism in place. So that would be my advice, like just don't have an assumption and preset scenarios in your brain before you go into a new family. What about you?
Me? Most common relationship advice. So I weirdly get a lot of people who are in the middle of a breakup messaging me, being like, hey,
Why?
I have no idea.
Are they trying to comfort you, telling you? Like, hey,
I'm on the market now.
I'm in the market.
No, I get a lot of people being like, oh, this person's trying to break up with me, or, people don't want us to be together or whatever. Like, what's your advice? And it's hard.
Zena in the background.
I know.
She's never this vocal.
It's hard though, like, because I don't know what my advice is in that situation, right? Because like obviously every situation is different. We've been in a situation where, we thought it wasn't going to work out, before we got married. So like, on one end, I want to say that like it takes two, make sure that both of you want to be in the relationship, both of you are going to put in the work. But at some points, in a relationship, somebody is giving zero, and the other person has to make up for it.
Yeah, overcompensate for the lack of somebody else. Yeah.
So, it's hard. I don't know what the right advice is, but my thing is like, chase it to the point of feeling crazy. And I think the moment you start feeling crazy, let it go. Go find somebody who wants you and who loves you, and that deserves you.
Fair. Okay.
What's your next question? This was my question to you. How did your perception of husbands and fathers change after you had kids?
Okay, so it's a really difficult one. When you
pretend I'm not here.
You suck. No. Are you talking about like our own like?
No, like in like like what did you think the role or like the contribution of a father and a husband was, just in general in your mind, and then after you had kids, how did that shift your reality, right? Like what you thought versus the reality.
So I'll go with the husband first, right? I had no doubt in my mind before kids the type of husband you were going to be.
But not about me, just in general.
In general. But I'm obviously my experience is one husband.
Fair enough.
Can't really talk about all the other husbands. But I had no doubt in my mind that you were going to be a great husband. And you have absolutely been a great husband. Although that role has changed since we've had kids. You've become a father first and a husband second. So like the girls get a lot of attention, and I feel like I get put on the back burner sometimes, which again, it's fine. It's just the phase of life that we're in. It's the things I tell myself at night.
It'll be okay.
I cry myself to sleep.
Is that what the sniffling is every night?
Not the allergies. But anyways, which is fine. It's just people's roles and relationships change as they go through different seasons of their lives. There's no like denying that. When I thought that you are madly in love with me, and I know that, and I feel that I know that. And when we were pregnant, we were expecting our first child. I never thought that was going to change. That I would feel that you don't love me anymore. And come the first baby, you you dove so deep into being a father that I didn't think that you saw me anymore. You love me, but did you see me?
All right.
So.
That's a good answer.
Did you see me?
Were you there?
See what I... Okay. I mean, you can't get so emotional so fast.
No, but I'll say I did see you, right? For me, being a father was part of being a husband, right? The more I was dedicated to this thing that you and I created together, I felt like the more I was dedicated to that, the more I was showing my dedication to you. If that makes sense, right? Like it felt like to me it was like, hey, like, you know, this is us, this is ours, and we're gonna take care of this together, and like I'm gonna make sure that I do everything I can to put this thing in, and I keep calling Elise a thing, but to put you know, our child like sort of first and foremost, to make sure that they get everything they deserve in this world. And it felt like a service to our marriage by doing that. But I guess, like, you know, maybe not.
But I mean, there's a beauty of I you know how I am. I love the one-on-one relationship with your spouse. I believe that should never stop. Yeah. And for me, even though we've had kids, I do want that one-on-one time. I do want the level of intimacy. I do want, you know, us to be able to not be roommates who are taking care of kids, but, you know, a couple, like partners. And for a short period of time, we did turn into roommates because we were so deep into just taking care of a child that, you know, I would look at you and I wanted to like see myself and like feel like I was wanted, and I didn't feel that way. So, you love me, but did you see me?